Paul James here, and if you want to land more clients, stick around because we've got some awesome prospecting tips coming your way. So in today's video, I decided to bring in an expert on prospecting. My guest today on the show is Guillermo Niches. Guillermo got his start in New York and runs a web agency there, and he works with all kinds of different niches, from barbershops to salons to tattoo shops, to even some of the higher scale niches as well, which he's going to talk about. And what he's going to share is some of the things that are working right now for him to land clients. So join me in today's interview and give a big warm welcome to Guillermo. Well, thanks for coming on and joining me today. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Why don't you tell all my viewers where you're from and how you got started?
So my name is Guillermo Niches. I am a Brooklyn native. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. That's just who I am. That's where I started my business about 5+ years ago. Started off really early, it's a blessing. It was a process in between that, but I stood dedicated, stood focused, and got it done. The offline consulting space has been, it's changed my life personally, and it's, just to be able to do it from home is, you don't have to leave your house or anything like that. It's just a beautiful thing. But I started doing this very, very young, and was very, very hungry, and it was just in me, man. I started really early. Started off when I was about, I don't want to exaggerate here, but I started my entrepreneurship when I was around, I'd say 14 years old. I would go door to door knocking, selling paintings. Like I had some pretty good skills drawing and stuff like that. So I would go
Nice.
door to door and just pitch it to every single door and like sell it for quarters and dollars and things like that. This was like in the summertime back when I used to stay at my aunt's house in Philadelphia. And so it's always been in me to do this stuff and to have my consulting business. I feel like I was destined to be in this place today, and to be able to do it now is just a blessing. And I'm able to help other people do it as well. So
Yeah,
it's awesome, man.
that's really cool. Did you come from a family of entrepreneurs, or is this just something that you kind of discovered on your own?
Yeah, I kind of just, did it all on my own. I come from a very, very poor background, unfortunately, not the wealthiest family here, but I had to, pick up the pieces and do it myself and stay dedicated. And I was the one providing the food for my family. So I had to do this, this was in me. I had
Yeah.
to do it. So
So you kind of had that responsibility early on, which kind of pushed you. That's cool.
yeah, man, absolutely.
So one thing that strikes me about you that I've come to learn about you is that you're like one of the few people out there who are like actually doing this. Like a lot of people put out courses and stuff, and they like have a lot of theory, but you actually like go in and you're doing stuff. And I notice you're in a lot of like unique niches that I don't really see many other people talking about, like salons and tattoo shops. I remember you talking about a tattoo
Yeah.
shop a while ago. Tell me
Hmm.
a little bit about that and kind of how you go into like these kind of different niches that no one's really talking about.
Yeah, like I just kind of just stayed my lane. A lot of people these days are doing a lot of different things like e-commerce and all. I find it easier to do this, helping other people succeed, getting them the website, the traffic, the SEO and all those things. And so it was just in me. And, as far as like choosing a niche nowadays, I've been able to grow big enough where I can have different teams, guys in my squad do different things. So I could have one group focus on barbershops, one group focus on contractors, the other group focus on the health niche and things like that. So being able to, grow that large that I'm able to, do that and focus on those individual niches. But ultimately my goal and my focus is just offline. That's just what I'm good at. I'm really good at it. And it's just really easy for me to do. I mean, I'm behind the computer the whole time. 95% of the deals I've closed, I've never even seen the person. Like I'm like here in my house or in my office spot, and that's really all it is.
Yeah.
So it's really cool stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think a lot of people want to get into this because they want to be behind a computer, and then, then they kind of get afraid because, with local consulting, sometimes it does require you to meet with clients, but there are ways, and I'm sure we're going to get into that as we get going, on how to kind of break through that barrier without having to meet with people or, do stuff you don't really want to do, because that's kind of why you get started in this industry, is because you want to hide behind the computer, so to say.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, for sure.
But something that you said about the niche thing that I thought was interesting. It sounds to me kind of like you become almost like a specialist in the certain, like, first you'll go with like barbershops and become like a specialist to just barbershops. Are you marketing that way to people, like that we help barbershops?
Well, something like that. We do a lot of homework. We just don't dive into any niche. We just don't do that kind of stuff. And like I've seen guys just, because a niche is hot, they just want to go after it and try it. But you really have to do a lot of homework and preparation in advance so you could position what it is you're offering to that niche. So if you're going after barbers, you need to define right off the back what it is that they need.
Mm-hmm.
If the need is websites, then that's what you need to focus on. And if it's traffic, then let it be traffic, and so on and so forth. But it's important that, before you dive into any niche, you really do your homework, get the statistics down packed, because numbers don't freaking lie. They don't lie. You got to have that all down packed. And, once you have that, you're good to go. You can go into any niche. It's just about going into it with confidence, because I see a lot of people today, they just dive into it because they think they can make money and they could crush it, but it's really more to it. You really have to feel confident going into it, and that's what it's really ultimately about. Just having that confidence going in, having the statistics down packed, the demographics, where's the need mostly needed at, and
Yeah.
so much more.
So it's about knowing your market.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
absolutely.
is there certain places that you like to find these different, people, different business
Uh,
owners?
Yeah, well, I mean, I usually like to focus on smaller towns just because it's just less competition.
Okay.
Like I'm from New York. Yeah, I would never sit there trying to target, barbershops. There's a barbershop in every corner. There's tons of consulting agencies, and it's just a hot mess. So I wouldn't spend any hour of my time trying to prospect in New York. I would, focus on the smaller towns. Like in Philadelphia, I'm sure around the outskirts, there's suburbs. And so within those suburbs, there's little towns and things like that where you can put that focus in. So really focusing on the smaller towns really always
Nice.
helped us. So,
Yeah, I think that's really smart. Is there certain websites that you go on to like look for people?
sites that I go to is probably LinkedIn, Craigslist, Trulia, Zillow, Penny Saver, just all those sites that are out there today. So,
Nice. And what are you looking for? Like emails, phone numbers?
yeah, I'm looking for the more important stuff, like you mentioned, the emails. I'm looking for the addresses, but most importantly, I'm looking for these two important things. I'm looking for the phone number and the email, especially the cell phone number, because the cell phone number always directs you directly to the business. And if you could find the email as well that leads you directly to the business, it's like, you're taking the back route on it. You're not necessarily, just calling any number, emailing anyone. Like, who belongs to what. And essentially that's what we've been doing on this part of the
So
field.
instead of like trying to deal with gatekeepers, you're more so just saying, forget the gatekeeper, let's just go straight to the business owner.
Exactly. Like, no time for the gatekeepers. We really try to avoid the gatekeepers, and we've really been able to define that by the type of numbers and emails. Like, toll-free numbers are numbers that I wouldn't spend an hour or any time of the day trying to call, because it's just, you're gonna run into, if not one, more than one gatekeeper right at the same time. So we always
Yeah.
found that, really focusing on, like, if you're in New York, for example, like focus on numbers like 718, 215, and so on and so forth. So those are the type of numbers that you want to focus on, and it just makes it easier because you're speaking directly to the owner, and you're not, being taken around in circles. And so, yeah.
Cool. There's two places that I kind of view you as an expert at, that I've come to like learn about you over the years, that I think that would be really beneficial if you could talk about. And number one is Craigslist. You've kind of dominated that in my mind. And then number two is something that I recently heard you talk about is you said business owners are hiding out on Facebook groups.
Right, right. So um, that's something that we're starting to see now. A lot of the businesses, like, just to get that free exposure or whatnot, they're posting around in Facebook groups like Chamber of Commerce groups and things like that. So they're
Nice.
in there, they're posting, they're promoting their businesses. So being a part of those groups and being a part of that conversation is always a great way to land business from the comfort of your home. You don't need to actually attend the Chamber of Commerce meeting. You could like join it. All you have to do is go to Facebook and you just look up your local Chamber of Commerce, you join it, and just start the conversation with whoever's in the group. If you see a salon owner posting or whatever,
Mhm.
just follow up, give some advice, just be helpful. That's what it's about at the end of the day. And then as far as like Craigslist is concerned, I mean, I spend most of my time in the services section because that's where a lot of the guys, like the mechanics and some of the guys in the dental space, like I found some guys that were selling Invisalign that we approached a few times, and we closed a few just off Craigslist, man. Like just Craigslist in the services section, we just spend that time there, just scoping out the different types of businesses. Now, as far as like what we're looking for, we're looking for a lot of things. We're looking for the website. We're looking to see like if they're doing any type of marketing. Like it just like you could tell a lot by a Craigslist posting because some of the times it'll look like really professional, and there's times where it's just like a really ugly post where they just took 2 seconds to just post it. So yeah, those are two ways that we find prospects for sure.
Awesome. So we talked about phone numbers and finding phone numbers, and I think that that's going to be really helpful, like avoiding the 800 and toll-free stuff. But what about people who don't want to get on the phone? What about people who want to like find emails? Is email a valid form of prospecting?
Yeah, absolutely. So emailing is definitely a great way of just prospecting. It's easier. You don't have to call. I mean, if you're into calling, you're not afraid to get on the phone. You see, I got this little fancy headset going on here. I dial people from my computer actually,
Oh,
and I sit
nice.
here talking to people and stuff. But if you're not afraid to get on the line and things like that, then you can call people. That's just fine. Just have some confidence going there with that ambition, that willingness to close and keep that closing mind state. Now, emailing is no different. You still have to. They may be a gatekeeper, they may not, but I find that it's potentially like the easiest form of just like landing clients, man. It's really easy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you said, I also watched your training and you said something really interesting too about combining, I guess you could kind of say combining phone with email. You said there's a new feature you're using about with audio and email. Tell us a little bit about
Right,
that.
right. So there's all types of things you can do when you email your prospects. You could send video. It could be a video of you, like where they could actually see you, just like you see me. And it's just like giving advice, like, "Hey, my name is Guillermo Mata, and I provide web design services in New York, and these are my services," and so on and so forth. So adding a video link in there is a great way. Today you can do audio attachments in Gmail. Like back in the day, you couldn't do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So now you could actually play audio from your Gmail, right? Like you could go to just add it as an attachment, and you could just boom, click play. You could hear it. So you can send audio, send video, and sending emails gives you the chance to position yourself, position your brand, and that's very important stuff, especially in this space. So those are just some ways that you could reach out to prospects via email. Sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that the audio thing and like also videos is a great way to stand out from a lot of the noise because, business owners are used to receiving emails, but it seems like it's a very like pattern that the business owners receive. So when you step outside of that pattern and do something that they're not expecting, you're going to get their attention.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure, man. For sure.
So what's the best way to approach prospects, would you say? Like what exactly when you reach out to them, are you offering them something? Are you showing them something? Like what exactly are you doing?
Yeah, for sure. So, my two top forms are definitely going to be phone and email. That's obviously the two top. I'm hardly trying to get up my seat and meet the client. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to do it from home. So, some ways to reach prospects are definitely going to be, just sending that sending a report. That's something that you can do, a detailed report. You could go to like any site today, and they have these free report generators where they generate a report of how the backlinks are looking on the site, how compatible it is when it comes to mobile friendliness, responsiveness. So you could send reports, of course. um, some other ways are probably just going to be, if you happen to find the number, just texting them a link to a PDF, taking them to a landing page, giving some value there. At the end of the day, it's not about just trying to like close a deal, make money fast. It's really about building that relationship, because at the end of the day, essentially that's what's going to get you that long-term client. I don't like the one-shot deals where we're just closing a deal, because quick money is never good. I like
Mhm.
the type of money that's going to be long-term, essentially. So that's essentially, what we focus on here for sure.
Cool. So for someone new starting off, do you think that they're kind of at a disadvantage if they don't have like a big company and like they don't have like this big company site built? Or do you think it's fine if they kind of go at it like, hey, it's just me, I'm more personal and I'm emailing you and giving you my cell phone number and stuff like that. Like what do you think there's benefits to one or the other?
No, I mean, one of my biggest things is just definitely going into this, just being you, keeping it personal. Like, for example, me, I email people from my personal email. So there's another email that I have, Guillermo Mata Jr. at gmail.com. In the signature, I keep everything personal. I have my cell phone as just my name, and I make myself reachable. So that's the beauty about this. You don't need to be like some high-end, big-time company or anything. You could do this from your home. It could be you. And if you're starting off, hey, just let it be you. And then when you start getting those clients and things like that, when you have more than 5 clients, then you could start, picking things up and so on and so forth. But I usually just start off with me, and then little by little I'll introduce my company and things. But usually when you go into it talking big, like you're pitching as, oh, my name is Guillermo Mata, and I'm with or reputationmanagement.com, and we have all these packages. It just comes off as too much
Yeah.
versus it coming off as just you, very personal. So it just really changes when it comes to perception and mind state and things. They perceive it very differently.
Awesome, man. Yeah, that's great. So all this sounds time consuming to scout out emails and phone numbers. What have you done to kind of help ease that burden?
Right. So basically, we're all about automation here, and that's just what we're about here at Red Torn Media. We don't have time to sit here sourcing information. Sourcing information, if you ever try doing it, it takes a long time. So what type of information I'm talking about? I'm talking about data like phone numbers and uh, emails and all those things. It takes a long time. It used to take me back in the day a whole week to gather a list of leads, get it on a CSV, call each individual lead. It was a headache. But now these days, I don't have to do any of that. I have a solution that I built now, and I've been using it for some time, and it just automates everything, man. It makes it very easy to just to prospect. It gets me that information that I'm looking for, and we're kind of like just taking that back route versus just looking for the problem and then trying to provide the solution and then looking for that information like the email, the phone number. We've taken a different approach here, and it's worked fairly well for us. So um, yeah, we have a solution, and hopefully I get a chance to show you on this call, show you exactly what I have going on.
Yeah, I would love if we could share that. I think that would really help out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So yeah, you just let me know when to or how to share the screen over here.
All right, we can see your screen now.
You can pull all kinds of emails, okay? And I'm going to show you exactly how that's all done. Number two, you can pull all sorts of numbers, whether it be a direct landline number, cell phone number, you name it. As long as you put it into the software, which I'm going to show you in a bit, you can definitely pull it. Okay, very, very powerful stuff. So let's dive right into the first feature, which is the emails portion. I went ahead and typed in dental. Okay, so this area here is where you're going to type in the niche. Okay, just to make that nice and clear. So you would type in whichever niche down on this area here. Then you're going to put your location here. So for this example, I'll just put in New York, right? I'll just put in New York and wait for that to populate. We're ready to rock and roll now. Now, here is where we're going to pull the source. This is the source that we are asking the software to look for. Okay, so we're going to use this as a source to gather that data. So this could be anything. This could be Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, any source at all. You type it in here and it'll pull it. It'll use it as a reference, okay? So I got Facebook on here, and I'm also going to let the software know that I want Gmails, okay? You can type in all types of emails, Hotmail, or if you're looking to prospect, you can enter the prospect's URL up here, and then maybe add the .com next to it. You could get creative with this thing, and it'll pull that data for you. You could also choose to get the data as results or pages. You know, for this example, we'll just go ahead and leave it at 3 pages. Okay, so let's go ahead and click search. So once again, all the software is doing here is pulling emails using that source. Facebook, we want Gmails. We're going to pull a number of 3 pages. We got the niche on here, dental, really, really cool stuff. So as it's pulling, I want to let you know as well that for prospecting purposes, you don't need to open up any browsers or anything. You see that the emails are compiling on this left hand side of the screen here. They're all compiling here. Now, another cool thing that you can do is numbers as well. You can choose numbers. You can type in cell phone numbers. So, for example, if you want cell phone numbers for maybe people in Alabama, Nashville, Kentucky, wherever, you can just type that in here. But for this example, I'm going to just type in 646 as the prefix. I'm going to keep Facebook the same as the source. We have dental on here. And then the number of pages is 3. Okay. So really, really powerful stuff. It's going to go ahead, pull that information for us, and it's going to compile it on the left-hand side of the page. Really, really powerful stuff, saving us a ton of time. You know, we built this with great intentions, especially going into the new year. We were doing a lot of manual stuff when we were going to the website, and we would have to gather up all this data. But taking this back route, it just made things easier, and it just with the software especially, it's just going to automate the process, making it just 10 times better for us, and make the prospecting process really easy.
All right, man, cool. Well, thanks for the demo. I really appreciate it. I think
Awesome.
that my viewers are going to get a ton of value out of this, and I'm really excited to hear about people's results using it. And just thanks for coming on and sharing all this with everyone.
Absolutely, man. I'm sure it's going to help a lot of people. It's going to help the way you automate things, the way you get those emails, those phone numbers. You're getting it on autopilot. You got that CSV. All you need to do is just start prospecting. You got all the important information now. Now it's up to you to really start crushing it now. So that's pretty much it, and then alongside that, we're doing a live training. We have a mastermind in the back end, so there's tons of things for everybody in the community and your guys to enjoy as well.
All right, I want to give one more big shout out to Guillermo. Thanks for coming on the show today. If you guys are interested in picking up his automation tool, I'll make sure to leave a link below this video where you can pick it up. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.